Hello, everybody. It is so good to see you, and it's so good to be here again. And it's so funny. I was busy working on today's project, and I started to turn around and hit go live, and I looked and I went, my hair curlers are still in. It's been one of those days. In fact, I put too much styling gel in my hair and had to take a wet wipe and try washing it some out. So I'm here, but I may be just a little spacey. I'm starting to say that a lot. Well, I have been very busy packing for the trip, and you see some of my stuff there. And then look what I made. I just made all of them Friday night. Oh, hold on. Let me. Mark tightens things sometimes, and I swear I can't get it untightened. So I'm trying to lean the camera back, but finally. He doesn't realize how strong he is, and so he tightens things down so tight. Let me put these back so you can see. Well, I'll put them right here for now. But I made a whole bunch of necklaces, and I love making these things. But do you see what they are? I love making them, and I sell them pretty cheap, and it's fun for me and hopefully fun for the ladies who feel like buying some little treat. So, and eventually, if I ever get an Etsy store going, I can sell them. But here is one of them. Isn't that cute? And they're on a little necklace chain. And like I say, I love doing crafts. So it gives me something to do. And then if I can make a couple dollars to keep me crafting, that's good too. So I have a lot of things to show you today. I'll start with last week's project. And I'm sorry, but I haven't had a chance to make my ladybug, but I love that idea, so I'm going to make it. But here is last week's little flower pot. And I just love this puffy. I love that puffy little pot. And that Jenny Buyer fabric is perfect. It makes it look like an old distressed pot. And do you see my cute little butterfly? Is that so cute? I just took a piece of black fabric, put it in my embroidery ring, and then just embroidered it with the DMC floss. How easy. I made it in 2 evenings. It was so easy. I took my new Clover white chalk pencils to draw on it. And hi, everybody. I'm looking for a moderator today. So, Marcia, I was even thinking about you, Little Miss Welcome Wagon. But tell me if you think you would like to be a moderator. So, but here is, I love this sweet little thing. So I still have to zigzag everything down, quilt it, put my little ladybug, and I think while I've got my polymer clay out, I'll make a little caterpillar for there. So that is going really well. And then you're honored. Oh, thank you. I was thinking lately, I said, have y'all noticed how Miss Marcia has really stepped up in the sweet comments and welcoming everyone? I mean, she's just been delightful. So you should now be, let's see, but I appreciate it. And that way, whoops. Okay. Yep. I think you're the moderator. It should pop up for your name. Hold on just a second. Okay. Yep. All right. Now, one thing I'm going to do. Oh, I hope the storm didn't hurt people. We had a couple branches go down, but luckily we didn't lose our power and all of that. But let's see who is here. I'm so excited. Marsha's here. Laura's here. Oh, Laura, you're so cute. Oh, Debbie is here. Hi, sweetie pie. Oh, I'm so Cheryl Hogan is here. Hello, everybody. Boy, it is so good. Cass is here. Hi, sweetie pie. So good to see everybody. Oh, Mitty is here. Oh, this is great. So Sonia is here. Sonia, you've got the quilt show's coming to Greenville in South Carolina soon. I won't be here. I won't be able to make it this year, but we'll see. Do you see where I put too much styling gel in my hair? What a mess, I tell you. But this morning I groomed Gromit. He's going to have his teeth cleaned Tuesday, and I won't be here. So I did his nails, and I brushed his teeth best I could, and I just trimmed him all over. So I've been a busy girl already. But anyway, Marsha, I don't know why it's not showing. Let me see. It should be showing our Marsha. So we'll keep checking. But it's so good to see all of you. It's been crazy. I've got 2 lists of things to do and take, and I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there. Have any of you found that you've reached a stage of life where it's really hard to make yourself? Yeah, that's true. And it's kind of hard to make yourself push to get something done after being in the pandemic and not really having that much that you had to do or deadlines or anything. And now all of a sudden it's like I shut down. So it's been a push to get me going. So yeah, I know what you mean, Sonia. It is so hard. So let me see here real quick. All right. Now, so let me show you. I've got some fabric pulled out for this week because we're going to do another springtime fun thing. And then, whoops. So my room's going to look pretty different to all of you. But that's okay. I've got my design wall down and packed. And I mean, look at that stuff in that wagon. All of this has got to be put in the car along with my snack bag, my suitcase, my backpack. But I'll kind of talk to you in a moment and kind of say, what do you take? Oh, good. Now you show up as moderator. What do you take to a retreat? So if you haven't gone, you feel like a hermit. I know. It's like I've been practicing this week talking more because with Mark and I being together 24/7 for the past 2 years, I've kind of lost the ability to carry out full conversations because we kind of know what each other is saying. So this week I said, can I practice on making complete sentences and complete thoughts? I know. It is really odd. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. There's a little part of me doesn't want to go back out. But I'm thinking, this time at least, when I went to this same retreat in November, I was very nervous. I stayed so churned up about it. This time I'm a lot more excited. Still a little bit nervous, but a lot more excited. So I will come back and let you know what it felt like and how it was. I'll be the group guinea pig to get back out there for us. So here is my snow quilt. And I'm going to tell you, I made a lot of progress. And I haven't worked on it since Thursday night. But I love little things like the snow on this little bush here that I did. And I'm really liking it. I like the weeping willow. There's one thing. I pinned it up on the quilt in the living room because I changed my winter quilt to a spring quilt upstairs. And I use my quilts, like here. I pin other things on them. So I don't have that much wall space. I have to do the best I can. So I pinned it up, and I've just been looking at it. One thing I noticed is there's a big space right here between posts. Kind of wish I hadn't done that. It bothers me now. But the main thing I noticed was the water. The water doesn't look natural, and I think I know why. When I went back and looked at some of the creek views, to make them look real, you don't just go up. They really wind back and forth on their way up, and I didn't put enough winding in it. I tried to make it too simple. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to add some more. I'm going to do more horizontal zigzags to then get it where it wants to go. But by having just a strip that goes up, it doesn't fit. It doesn't look real. And that's what's been bothering me. So I'm probably going to take this to the retreat with me, along with my ink tints and a few threads that I know I want to do some more thread painting with. And then when I get back, I'll show you if I made improvement. But one good thing about, yes, we have gotten happy to work from home and to be kind of home-based. Uh-oh, what happened to MIDI? Oh, Biddy, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Well, if you want to come to North Carolina, I'll give you a free vacation. You can stay here with me. So, no, Mark finally made his plans to go to the beach next month, and he needs it. He hasn't been in a while, so he needs it. But I'm looking forward to this, and I've told myself to make the best of it, because whether we realize it or not, we need breaks, and you need downtime, time to get away, all of that. So that's a natural fit. Thank you. Oh, Cass, you're so sweet. Thank you. That was very, very nice of you to say that. So anyway, okay. So just give you a couple things. I'm going, and you stay in a dorm kind of room. Then you stay in this great big hall during the day. That's where we sew on one end and we eat at the other end. I'm going to make sure I get up more often and walk around so my ankles don't swell. We got to worry about these things. We don't want any deep vein thrombosis, all these things you have to think about again that, I used to kind of know right off bat. But we're going to have 2 meals a day, brunch and dinner, and we're going to be eating earlier. Laura, that's hilarious. Laura said her husband maybe built that fence. That is so, y'all make me so happy. Thank you so much. So I'm going to, there's going to be a snack table set up, but that's mostly snacks that I really shouldn't eat. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to be taking apples and pears, fresh fruit. Then I'm going to take maybe some grapes. Then I'm going to take pistachios and pecans, just some nice nuts for protein. Cook maybe a couple little fig Newtons. And then I'm going to take yogurt, cheese sticks, ice water, because since dinner's so early, that's a long time. And normally, I fast until the afternoon, and then I eat a light lunch and a dinner. So I'm going to take some healthy snacks for me too. And I'll take a few kissies, some chocolate. Got to have chocolate with her teats. I mean, it wouldn't be normal. I'm going to be tonight making brownies to be my contribution to the snack table. Because that's what we all do. We all bring something. But then I thought, okay, I need some comfortable outfits for my room when I come back in the evening, something to sleep in. Then I brought a long cotton robe because one thing we did in November that I did enjoy is a couple of us would sit out and watch a silly movie. like 10 o'clock at night, you know. So I brought a nice cotton, comfortable long robe that I can be in for that. But just making sure that you have all of your clothes, the outfit for each day, all the underthings, socks, all of that. And then a jacket, because the temperature is going to be anywhere between 40 degrees and 60, high 60s. So I definitely have to, in fact, I keep forgetting to pack that jacket. But then the main thing, take time. I have to write a list down, because the word great snacks are important, or good snacks. And I have to every day, I mean, every time I go to one of these events, I take time to really write down what sewing supplies I need. We're going to be out in the country. We're going to be a half an hour away from civilization. So, little things. The first thing I pack, my sewing machine, the power cord, and the foot. What do you call that? My machine foot. Because you don't know how many times, every time I've gone to some event, someone has forgotten one of those. Try to run your sewing machine without a power cord. It's real tricky. So, and you know what? There's nothing worse than having to go all the way back home. Some of the ladies are driving, several hours. So that's it. But pack that first, because that's the most important. Then I have a tote where I've already wound my bobbins and take everything. 2 pairs of scissors. In fact, I needed to pack this one, so I'll get this ready to put over there. But I have these are my favorite little go-to while I'm sewing, but then I need a good pair of scissors if I have to cut something or something long. Oh, look at this. Good. Yeah. Tell me your things, because you might think of something that I've still forgotten. So yeah, feel free. Yes. Extra needles, because you're liable to break one. And if you don't have extras, hi, Alberta. So good to see you, sweetie. So extension cord. Exactly. And I have the coolest thing. Let me see. Let me grab, hold on just a second. I have the coolest thing that I always take, whether it's to my classes or, okay. So, the coolest thing. When I first saw this, I knew I had to get it. I got one. Mark said, I need one of those too. So, you plug this in, and it's got a nice 3-prong plug. And there's all different versions of this. But then you have these 4 plugs, so you can turn one plug into 4. And then the nicest thing, it has an on-off switch. Now, do you notice that I have my name and phone number on this? Because put your name on everything, even your scissors. Put your name on everything. And if I don't have a way like to put my name on scissors, although I'm going to do this right now before I forget, then this has a scissor fob that I made, and with this scissor fob, it identifies it as mine. But they can steal if it's not that somebody's going to steal. It's that there are only so many products, and somebody else at the group's going to have one of these. So I just take this permanent pen and write, and this is a good thing to do. These are new scissors. My old ones, every one of my old ones had my name on it. And if you do it with a permanent pen, then it's so easy. And I haven't had anybody else grab my tools from me, but I have had I've left them by accident on a table. And if you have your name on it, then you can get it back. JOHNS. Oh boy, it's hard to write. Oh well, SON. I'm trying to write it where my hand doesn't touch it, but put your name on everything. Big, big, big clue. And I write what I take so I can look at my bag and make sure before I leave I've got everything. But I've got on here my small fan down here because I get hot sometimes. Some of the ladies stay cold. Some of the ladies stay hot. So you're not always going to have the right temperature. Take a sweater if you tend to if you get cold easily. And take, like tomorrow I'm going to wear this blouse because it's short sleeved and I'm going to be doing a lot of activity. I've got to get to the retreat, unpack myself. Mark's going to pack the car for me this time. But when I get there, it's just me. And I've got to unpack everything. And then before I leave on Friday, I've got to repack everything. So I want a shirt that I know it's going to be 60 degrees tomorrow. I won't be overheated. But I'm going to take a small fan. Then I've got a tote full of my sewing supplies. And I go through my head and go thread, needles, little scissors, things like marking pens, seam rippers. I was looking, seam rippers. Make sure you have a really good sewing machine brush. You'll be sewing so much that you're going to have to keep it clean. Oh, I'm going to pack one of my wooden irons. Love this thing. So I didn't think about that. You know what? Talking with y'all about this. Let me see what else. Meds. Yes. And let me tell you this. Before we have gone to a retreat where it started 2 times, I've been caught in the snow. So I packed 3 extra days of medications. Just put them in one of your little bins the farthest day away. Like if you have the strips, I always pack 2 to 3 extra days of medication. You never know. Oh, Jody, phone charger. Excellent. I need to write that down. Because you know what? We get so used to things around here. Phone charger. And like I say, since it's been the pandemic, I'm not good at this anymore. All right. Some people even put a second machine in case the first one acts up. I'm not that superstitious, but cutting mat, ruler. You might not think you have anything to cut, but something might pop up. So pick a generic. Pick a 3x12 ruler, 3x18 ruler, pack it. Isn't that nice? Oh, Carol's here and Jody's here. Oh, I love seeing all of you. And, okay. Then one of the things I packed, just scared my little dog. Those were my 2 folding tables. I take folding tray tables because I can set my cutting mat on one and set my little travel iron board on the other. Because usually you're only given a certain amount of table space. So, you can prioritize that. Uh-oh. Yes, how are you now? Because I heard you say you weren't feeling well, and then I looked and went, uh-oh, I don't see her on. Honey, I hope you're feeling better. I am so sorry. Oh, that's frustrating. This is a really cool thing. I put my sticker on it, but it's a really cool thing. And what I love about this is very insulated. If you put ice in this in the morning, it will last all day. And it has the straw. The reason I like this so much, and it doesn't have a metallic taste. You have to be careful. Some of these things have a metallic taste. But you open it like this and you drink like this because the straw goes to the bottom. So what I will do when I'm there, because sometimes I forget to drink enough, and I will fill this up with ice water in the morning, and I can always add a little unsweet tea, something like that, just to have a different flavor. But this will go the whole day for me, and it helps me remember drink. And I love the little handle. I think I got this at Walmart one year, and I love it. But it's important for me because the little cups they have are not insulated, and they're small, and I want to make sure I keep drinking enough because we forget. Remember, if you get dehydrated, you're more likely to get deep vein thrombosis. Stay fully hydrated and get up. I'm going to get up and move around every 2 hours, at least every 2 hours. So, because, here I don't, sometimes I'll sit for a long time. But usually I get up and move around. And you tend to forget when you're there. I'm going to take my invisible thread with me. And I want to make sure I take both kinds. So I just have to, I'm not sure. I think I packed that already. So I'm good with that. If you're going to do a lot of chain piecing, I need to put this in my case. This is wonderful. This is the little thing I made to cut the threads. And they're all different kinds, like you cut the chain piece little part apart. So I will take that. My rolling design wall. That's why you don't see it. It's already packed and down. Seat cushion. Yes. And you know what? I haven't put that on the list. I'm sitting on it. I hope I will remember because I am taking my own share. So seat cushion, thank you. Y'all are helping me, thank you. Yeah, seat cushions are very important. And aren't we proud of our Marcia? I have been calling her the welcome wagon, and she's really stepped up as a wonderful conversationalist on here. So I'm real pleased with her. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to look at other... You're not 100% yet. I'm sorry. We will think good, positive thoughts for you because you know what? It's not fun to be sick, and you're such a creative person. It's got to be hard. It's like you're losing time on some very precious things you're liking to do. You stream this weekend. Okay. I will have to catch up because when I go to my retreat, one of the things I'm doing, of course, I'll take my laptop for back in my room at night. There's no TVs in the individual rooms. And so I'll take this and then I can watch my BritBox or my Acorn or Netflix. And so and YouTube. But while I'm sitting there sewing, I kind of like to be in my own head. The noise of the room can be a little overwhelming. So I'm taking this little tablet I have and I'll listen to audiobooks. I could watch a YouTube, catch up on the Alex Anderson embroidery series, watch my Miss Carol on her Magical Touch Studio. So that's what I take. And when I put on my headphones, hopefully people can see them and they'll kind of know that when I have my headphones on, I kind of like to be a little bit quiet. So, but let me see if there's something else. But I need a fan for my bedroom. I cannot set my individual room temperature. And Mark and I sleep. We turn the house to 68 in the winter because we like to sleep cold. But I might not have that choice. So the fan will make a difference. So I'm going to take one fan for the room and the little fan for the sewing room. All right. And I might even take a picture of my grandchildren and just print something out and sit it there. And people say, oh, how are your grandchildren? Show them the picture. So I've got my projects. I added my swirl trees and I'm adding my snowy landscape because I'm very attached to it right now and I'd like to see it through. So now, one day I talked about that. Does anybody else take more? Hi, Miss Polly, sweetheart. Yes, bring the earbuds because no one else wants to hear. And another hint to you. Yes, I will bring my phone, but I do not take personal calls at my seat. I get up and walk outside to take personal calls or to make personal calls. And the reason I do that is because is because I feel uncomfortable when people carry on conversations near me, and it's not really polite because people will stop talking thinking they're interfering with you. It's just not a very nice thing to do, in my opinion. Everybody has their own opinions, but I get up, walk outside, and take a phone call. Now, you can text a message and take a message at your table. And my kids know, don't call me unless it's an emergency. That's my special time. So, you sweetie, let me see. I don't want to lose anything else. Oh, definitely got my flamingos. I've got an inflatable one I take, and I'll take my flamingos my girls gave me. All right, so then I'll take the necklaces to sell. They have a yard sale table, so you can bring. I wish I had gotten my Elna cleaned up and ready, because it would have been a good time to take her and see if anybody wanted to buy my Elna. And but I didn't get it ready in time. Also, my other Juki that I could never get fixed last year, I found a really good person, had really good reviews. And since they're on the way to the retreat, I'm going to take that, drop it off, and maybe I can pick it up on the way back, so I don't have to take out a small loan to get the gas to drive back down there. Because it's 45 minutes away. So I'm hoping during the week he can fix it. We'll see. All right. So I told you I'm taking my Windswept, my Mary Mayhem Mystery, the beautiful curved teal thing that I've been working on for 2 years, and I'm so close to being done. My swirl trees, to the last couple that need zigzags, so I can come home and quilt them. And a week after I get home, my grandbabies are going to be here. So I'm so excited. Oh, for my room, I'm going to do things like take a magazine. I'm going to take my electronic book, my notebook and charger, my laptop, and I already have an extension cord for that for the room too, because not always are plugs where you need them in a room. And I'm taking a special big glass for ice water for my room, because the colder the water is, the more likely I am to drink it. And my own alarm clock. They didn't have alarm clocks in the room, so I'm going to take my own alarm clock. All right, I think I've pretty much covered it. And so I can't think of it. Oh, we're having show and tell, so I'm going to take show and tell. And I'm going to take my camera, I think. I don't think I'm going to tape the show and tell on my phone. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll take my camera. So I better write that down, because right now I'm using it and I might forget. But I want to tape show and tell for y'all, because it gives us a chance to have a bigger show and tell, see what's going on with other quilters. I was reading Missouri Star Quilt Company's blog, and they were talking about the 5 quilting trends, and some things I agreed with and some things I didn't. They say patchwork's coming back, and modern quilting, things like curved. I definitely think curved piecing is back in, and I'm trying to think of what else. I don't remember, but I was like, okay. But I always like to look at things like that, and people in the industry usually have a pretty good idea before we know. All right. So now I'd handled that, and I've shown you the other things I did. All right. Oh, this is sitting here. Do you know this is a piece of the shelf lining that like campers buy? And you used to only be able to get it at a camping store, but now you can get it pretty much anywhere. But what I like about this is an anti-slid mat. It's slightly rubbery feeling. I take this to put under my foot pedal for my machine, so you're not chasing the foot pedal all the time, because that gets frustrating on a slippery floor. Also, I'm taking slippers. The floor we're going to, in that big room, it's concrete. So make sure you keep your feet warm. So I don't know about y'all, but I find if my feet get cold, then my hips start aching, my knees start aching. It's like the cold works up into your bones. All right, so now let's have a little bit of fun. I haven't gotten that far on this, but I figure we'll work on this together. And then I also have great pictures that people have sent in. So we will do some work on that. But I've gotten my background. This week, we're doing a basket and tulips. And I already got a piece of background. Okay. And on the back, I've already ironed some fusible. And I also iron fusible. I starched it. Okay. Don't let me forget, after we show you the pictures, I want to show you this Persis fabric line that I got. I finally got in the focal point fabric, and I can't wait to show it to you. So I'll show you all those fabrics. All right. Oh, and I wanted to tell you, Thursday night, I told the ladies that I love this bottle filled with just acrylic paint. I didn't thin this with a fabric medium because I wanted, this is my accent paint. And for accent paint, it's got to, in fact, let me show you. I used this. I was thinking about using a paintbrush, but then I remembered I had this from decorating the Christmas ornaments. And look how easy it made putting the extra snow on, even on the fence. So I highly recommend, and I found some more. If any of you, I may consider doing a mail out when I get back, because I have quite a few of these little bottles. I evidently bought them twice. But they're little metal tip. They're wonderful for glue. They're wonderful for paint. Puts it just where you want that. So, okay. So I just wanted to show you. And then somebody had asked, did I thin my paint? And I didn't see it until afterwards. And it's like, no, when I do the accent paint, I just leave straight paint. Because it's just a little accent piece. It's not, So we're making the partner for this one. This is what our one spring thing that we did last week, our spring wall hanging. This week, I'm going to teach you to do a woven basket on the surface. Now, I did this years ago, about 8 years ago. I first did this on a quilt for my daughter, and it was so much fun. So let me see. Okay. I'm going to bring this down. Now that I can loosen this knob again. No, I did not, Debbie, I did not mix the medium. Not with the accent, because I wanted the full thickness. If I had thinned this, it would absorb. I wanted this, since this is going to be the snow, the little extra snow, I wanted it to show and sit up on the surface. So this, when I put it in the snow accent, it's pure acrylic paint. All right. And I just use whatever is on sale at Michael's or Joann's, whatever. So just good old white acrylic paint. So now what I've taken is I cut strips about, I would say it's about it's almost 2 inches strips of good fabric that would be really nice for a basket. And I use these that I found on Amazon pretty cheaply. And what you do is you fold the fabric how you want it to be. You come up and go back down in through this. Then you take your iron, and with the iron, let me put it this way so you can see it. You just push that little pink piece of plastic along, and it folds the fabric for you. And I like this better than the old-fashioned ones because I had a hard time. Let me see if I can find one of these older fellows. I'm going to take a pencil sharpener on the retreat too, because I do have some pencils I use. All right. Where are my older ones? They should be in here. But I'm trying to think of the name of them. I think I need to clean out my drawer soon. And here's a good packet of needles. Okay. I don't see, here they are. I think it was Dritz or something. I've forgotten now. Let me see. Oh, it has the name right on it. Clover. The problem I have with these, they do a really good job of making the double fold bias, but you have to hold it and pull it and then try to iron it and then try keeping the fabric straight. So to me, those were a little more difficult. And now, when I get going on this, this is my ironing surface and it's padded. So I'll take a pin and stick it in this way so it resists pulling. And then that way, I just come right along. The iron pushes the little piece of plastic and it continues to fold the fabric. So now you've got the double fold going on. All right. So that's how you make the pieces. So see they're double folded. That's how you make the pieces to weave the basket. So, all right. What I'm going to do, let's draw where we're going to put the basket because, whoops, is this my blue? So that means I have the blue chalk out somewhere. Let me see. Well, I don't see it, so I'll get another one out. Yellow. Hopefully this will show up. Oh, here's another blue one. No, blue won't show on the thing. Silly me. Okay, white. I love these Taylor's chalks. Can you tell? I have plenty. Okay. So, I'm going to put the basket about right here. I'm just going to kind of draw the basic shape for the basket. And I'm not too sure if you can see that or not. Let me see. I want you to be able to see it. Oops. Excuse me. Now, this is a pattern I'm making up myself. So I'll make sure to put it on the website. Or you can just draw your own. I trust that you can do it. If not, when I get back, I will draw it for you. I promise. All right. So now I have this starched. I wonder if I want a taller basket. I better put a taller basket. Let me tell you why. Because I'm looking at the proportions. Tulips are tall, but I might even do a slight curve on this basket. Okay, there we go. I think that's better. All right, so now I've done a curved basket. What I'm going to do is get one of my bias strips, leave the raw edge on the back, and I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to pin this. I'm going to go beyond and pin it. Then I will cut it, go beyond this way too, okay? Then I'm going to come up here and put another one, get another pin, and this one like this. Now I'm leaving this side undone. So there. And then I'm going to run it long too. There we go. All right. Run it long. Only pinning one side. Now, you decide what side you want to pin and what side you want to leave long. I'm left-handed. So, of course, I do everything left-handed. Sorry about that, but just the way it is. All right, so go beyond here, cut. This is truly very simple, and I think you'll like it. So I have two different colors of fabrics, a dark and a light, because that's what's going to make the weave really show up. Oops, not long enough. Okay, so now, oops, I thought I had, I guess I better make this one real quick. Oops. All right, so you'll get to see me do it again. Make sure my iron is on. Okay, warming up. Okay, then let me get this, and let me move a few things out of the way here. When I first do the fold on this fabric, I'm going to fold it to the third mark and fold it again. And that way it ends up being about a half an inch, little over a half an inch, 5/8 of an inch. And what I do first is give it a good pressing. Because if I press, then I can put it through this much easier. I come up and then go back down. That's important to have it this way. Then I will come over here and get my pen and put it on like this. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it ahead a little bit just to make it easier, so it's not, I can do it as quickly as I possibly can. I've already starched these strips. I'm a big believer in starching because it just makes fabric behave better. And you know what? We need our fabric to behave, don't we? So now just see how I carefully, and don't move too fast. You want that iron to, and these are non-melting plastic or melt resistant. I've not seen signs that they melt. So see how I just push it along, push it along. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is move this further down like this, and kind of get it started and then go. But you see, I can now have one hand to hold the fabric and guide it well, and one hand to hold the iron. And it usually works better if you kind of turn the side of the iron. But I love these little things. And I think this whole set was around $8, $10 on Amazon. Okay, I'll move it down one more time. Do a little bit more. Okay. Now, let's say you don't have a set of these. You've probably seen people take long pins and pin them on the ironing board so you can pre-fold the fabric and run it underneath the pins. And that works fine too. So now I've got enough extra fabric. So I'll come up here. Now I'll do the two last cuts. Put a pin right here and trim this here. And then one more. I think the one more will do it. And since it comes back in, I don't need to cut it quite as long. And then I'll come back here and cut it. All right. So now, the one thing I want to make sure is to start off with my strips even so that I can finish with the basket being straight. And it's a good thing to measure 7 inches up, not quite 7. So bring this down just a touch. Because I just kind of drew it on. So I just want to double check. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it to look like your basket is going uphill or downhill. Okay, so I'll measure again, 1.5, 1.5. So I'm doing good. All right, this is just to start off. Now here is my lighter color fabric. What I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start and go up and do these and just, let me see. If I did this and then another one, I'm going to start down bottom. All right, and I'm not going to cut the length of this yet. I'm going to go under the first one. I know it doesn't need to be any longer than that, so now I'm going to go under here, and I'm going to pin it right here. In fact, I can just use this pin. All right, pin this here. So I went under the first one, so now I'll go over this one, then I'll go under this one, over, then under, then over, and then under. Okay, now when I get up to the top, make sure it's reasonably straight and pin that. Okay, I will come back and do these little pieces soon. So, oh yeah, make sure, don't forget the time change, everybody. Hi, Miss Mary. Yeah, Mark went around last night and set back all of our clocks. Actually, in 4 in the afternoon, it became 5. He wanted to make sure he didn't miss anything. Okay, so this piece is going to be about that long, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this a little shorter because I'm going to show you what to do. I don't want this raw edge just sitting here. So I'm going to move. Oh, it's all pinned. Oh, poo. Uh-oh. Well, I'm hoping you can see good enough. I was going to move this over, but if I take all the pins, it'll just be a mess. Okay, let me push all my pins back in. All right. So what I'm going to do with this long edge here is I'm going to tuck it under. See that? And then I'm going to do the same thing for these on the side. That's why I ran them just a touch longer. Now this is in the perfect place, so I'm going to come put a pin right here and then continue to go over, under, and back up here. Okay, now since this one is on the top and I don't want to show the raw edge, I'm going to tuck it underneath this top strip. And then I'm going to pin it because I do not want to lose that look and the right angle. Everything looks like it's doing good. Then I'll come over here and I'll get more of this. Oops, I have 2 strips. I got confused. All right, well, let me go ahead and start using this one. All right, now I start under. I come up and go, okay, this is fine. And what I'm going to do with this one underneath, I'm going to be, when I'm all done with weaving this basket, I'm just going to come and top stitch the edge. And so as long as it's shorter and it's hidden under this one, then I'm sorry I didn't set up closer. And let me see. Okay, so let me do one thing. I do want to check and see if the light, which way that light is better. But what did I do with my remote? I put it out of the way. Ah, there it is. Okay, let me see. I'm looking at the camera. Actually, I think it does help. So, basket. Good job, Jeannie. How are you? Oh, Sue Strain. Hi. Hi. Oh, it's so good to see you. And Jeannie's here. That is always such a pleasure to see her. Yay. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and pin this one. I'm running low on pins because I packed them already, but I'll figure it out. Okay. So now I just go back to under, over, under, over, under. You can get pretty fast at it. And okay, this one will just need to be cut shorter. So that's not a problem. Just like this one, cut it shorter. Okay, because you just don't want any raw edges showing. That's why we folded the fabric like we did, the double fold, so that none of the raw edges will be showing. All right, now I come back in with my next one. This one's going to go on the top. I'm going to come through real quick, move along a little faster, because you get really good at this. I mean, as kids, did any of you do the woven pot holders? And whoops, okay. Okay. Just making sure you want them pretty close together, but you know what? It's okay to have them a little puffy and not flat or perfect, because that is wonderful, because then it shows it truly is a woven basket. Now this, I just need to leave a little bit at the top to tuck under. There we go. I'll put another pin right here. Ooh, that's a big pin. Then I cut it off with a little bit left to tuck under at the bottom. Here we go. Tuck that under. Okay. Remove it a little bit closer. All right. So isn't that cute? I really am liking it. Now, and you know what I might do? Because I need some of these extra pins anyway. I am going to get, this is something thank you. Thank you, Miss Mary. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this tacky glue. Now, I would use a tacky glue instead of a school glue, because you want it to stick. You want to make sure it is stuck. So this way, let me go ahead and if I glue it in place, then it's that much I have to do, less I have to do later. And here, I'll pull up this pin, put a little glue here. Okay, and this one's going to tuck under, so I'm going to go ahead and tuck this under. I like that. All right, now I'm going to put a pin back in this one just until the glue, because it's a corner. The corner locations are a little trickier. And I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm staying square and on the line. Normally, I would, if I had more pins, I would wait and glue it when I'm sure I've got it just right. But I'm going to be bold today and just take a risk, because it's just a cute little spring thing. It's not show quality, right? Okay, there we go. So now let's start with another one. This one's going to go under. So see, it's not the longest piece, but since it starts and stops underneath, I don't have to worry. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this, glue it. Whoops. Glue it under here. Whoops, the glue ran back down the other end. I have another glue if I really need it. All right, so put a pin in till it's dry. Then just come under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay. Make sure you keep everything straight. All right, keep everything straight and cut it to where it's going to hide under the other piece. Okay, then come tack it down with glue. All right. Making sure, measure it every so often. I'll do centimeters, just over 13 centimeters, okay? So make sure I don't go any narrower. I'm going to straighten these back up. All right, let me measure it from the bottom here. 4 centimeters and 4. Good. All right, so it is good to keep. Let me store this back upside down so I don't lose the glue. All right, so now I'm going to get another light piece. See how I like using similar colors, but one a little lighter than the other, and that gives it a little bit of realism. So now this one goes on top, so under, over. Okay, under, over. All right, then I leave it run long on both ends so I can tuck it. Okay. And making sure that I'm staying up and down. But don't worry about being perfect. Remember, we want them to really know that we actually did do this. So if it's if it's not perfectly up and down and smooth, it just looks more real and homemade. Because I think this is fun. I think this is a cool way to do this. And I had such fun with it. And people were so amazed that I was doing it. And I said, well, you know, why not? I've woven baskets, so I think I can weave fabric. And especially putting it on the quilt. Now this becomes the main event. Now, hopefully you're not getting bored watching me do this, but we've got plenty of time, and I didn't have time beforehand to get everything perfect because I've been busy packing. But I said, I think it's too important, just too much fun to see this. And then you can work on it while I'm gone if you wish to make one. But what fun is this? So I'm going to pull it in a little. And I guarantee you, when you put this up, people are going to say, how did you do that? And you don't have to tell them how easy it was, but you can if you want. All right. So now I've got this. Let me scoot it over a little bit. Put that back down. All right. Pull these a little bit if you notice some of them getting a little short. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So this is the last one I'm going to do here. And I'll cut it a little bit short like this. And then I'm going to take this. I will put a spot of glue here. Woo, that came out fast. A spot of glue there. And glue down the little flap. Okay. So, oops, I made it a little too short. There we go. All right. All right, I'll put a pin so it's instead of corner, but I think these are going to be ready to go. Oh, yay. All right, so now what I have to do to finish this off, I want it to have a little bit of shape so that it will feel real. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-cut this and then start here. I need it to go under here, over, under, over. If you have always wanted to know how to weave baskets and thought it might be hard for you, it is pretty easy. Now, the width of the basket down here, okay, I forgot that I'm not dealing with hard surfaces, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. Because I didn't quite have enough length on this, but I don't want to make my basket bigger. what I'm going to do is kind of squish this in just a little and then tuck that under. Okay, let me get a little touch more glue. There we go. So, and let me put a pin here just to hold it until it's dry. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. I really think that's my last one I'm going to be able to do there. I don't think I have enough. Okay, and that'll give it a pretty good shape. So what I'm going to do is cut off these so that they're shorter than that side piece. Cut off this and cut off this. All right, now get my glue. I'm going to wrap this around. So let me, whoops, where did that pen go? Oh, there it is. Make sure you put glue here, here. You want it to stick. Then glue on the back and then glue on the base. So you just have to make sure you have enough glue. And then bend this down, tuck it in, and there you go. And if it sticks out too far, you can trim it up again. But, okay. Then this one is going to be tucked under and glued. So, the same thing. Let me see if I have. This glue is, let me tell you, I'm so cheap, I use it until every tiny bit of glue is gone. So, but I do have a nice full one here. All right, so this is going to tuck under like this. Now, I'm going to take the glue and glue there. So you just have to make sure that every part is touched by the glue. This one, I just have to glue that short piece down and under onto the background. This one's another tuck. So I'm going to put glue there. So when I tuck it under, it grabs. Okay. And then I'm going to put glue on the back fabric there. All right. Now, let me put a little touch more glue here. This wasn't holding good enough. Okay. So, now I'm going to come over here, put one more strip over here. And then I'll be able to hold it up so you can actually see how it looks. I'm so excited. This is so much fun. I would love to do. And another thing, yes, lists are so critical. If you can think of anything. Oh, and I want to show you, Marcia, this message right here. I don't know if you can see me light this up, and that message is, oh, Carol zoomed in and got it. Good job. Okay. Because I don't ever want to leave messages up that could harm my wonderful members. And so if any time it comes up and it's very questionable, you can delete it, retract it, whatever. Okay. So I'm going to put one more side over here. And boy, I have just enough. Look at this. And that is pretty good. Okay. All right. So now, this one's going to be tucked in, and it's going to start here. So it's going to be short here. Okay. All right. So this is my last one. All right, so it's going to go under here, and remember how I told you on the other side it was a little short. This piece is a little short, so I'm going to put some glue down here. Then I'm going to stick this strip under that, then put a little more glue. I'm sorry I can't bring it. Well, I can bring it now over now. Yay. Okay. So this piece is a little short. Come on. everything getting in my way. This piece is a little short, so all I do is scrunch that piece up a little. And that way, I can now put glue under here and fold and tuck that. So see how I kind of scrunched it? And it works fine. And then it'll go over this one. So I can now trim this one so it'll be tucked under well. Tucked under. See, I don't bring it to the edge. I tuck it under. I'll pop some glue there for that. Tuck that down. Put glue on top for this. Now, then I go back under this one. And this one, I'll put glue here. I'll put glue here. Glue on the background. And that way I can tuck this there. There we go. Okay. Now on top, then under, then on top. Okay. So I'm going to, oh, this one needs to be trimmed back. Okay. Sorry about that. Sometimes I forget. Whoops. Trim it a little bit more. All right. Whoops, 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 whoops. Whoops. Okay. All right. So put glue under this little piece that stays, glue on top. All right. So now that's glued down. Now this one is too long, so I'm going to trim a little bit off, just leave enough to tuck. And then I'm going to come glue under here on top of here. And then lift it up. See how I've tucked it under? Lift it up and make sure I've got enough glue under there. Then glue here, just to make sure it's going to hold. You don't need a lot. You just need it in the right places. Okay. All right. Now, here's my last one. This one gets cut back, shorter, so it's nice and tucked in. See how it's a little shorter than this piece? Because I want it tucked in really good. All right. So I'll go like this. Then with this one, I'm going to leave it a little long like that because then when I tuck it under, it's going to have plenty of strength to hold it in place in that corner. Now, you could have trimmed it off a little bit if you wanted to. But there it is. And now I get to hold it up and show you. Hold on. I do like to clean up as I go, don't I? But I don't want to lose things. All right. Are you ready? Okay. There it is. What do you think? Do you like it? And you saw that what? Took 15 minutes? Not bad. But isn't it cute? And then it's got a little, So then, now I bring that over here. Okay. Bring it over here. And let's see. I might not have a good shade of brown down here. Oh, I think I have one. And to tell if you've got a good shade of thread for it. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Jeannie, yay. And how you can tell when a thread is the right shade. Let me show you. You take a piece of it and you lay it in place. And if you can't see it, that's a good thing. Like this one, if I put this in, whoops. If I put this on here, it shows. See that? So that's not the right color. But you put this on, and it virtually disappears. So that's what you want. All right. Actually, I did have some khaki browns. That one's too dark. All right, so let me just put this on here really quickly. Come up. All right. Boy, new machines sure do threads so much easier, don't they? Whew, this is a joy. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to leave the top open a little bit so I can tuck the other fabric, the leaves and stems of the tulips in. All right, but I'm just going to come down here, and I'm going to make a 2.0 stitch because I don't want it to stitch too big. I'm going to come all the way to the edge. Let me make sure I've got bobbin. Yep, I've got bobbin thread. I love the saying, it's all fun and games until the bobbin runs out. I think that is just so cute. Now, this basket does kind of have a jut out, but that's okay. I wanted it to have some shape, so, but if you want to make yours a little smoother sided, then you go for it. Because one of the things I love is watching how you do your own projects, and when you add your own special touch, that means a lot to me. I don't think I've ever done a pattern by the strict instructions anyway. Okay, so I just go around, top stitch this down. Now it is one with the fabric. Okay. All right. Now, whoops. What did that come from? Did I? Uh-oh. I might not have had my tension right. All right. Here we go. All right. Oh, gosh, Miss Carol understands more about computers than I do. She is your best teacher right there. Wow, I'm impressed. Bot. I've heard of the term, but I didn't know to use it. All right, so now it's all stitched down. Isn't that cute? I love it. And depending on what fabrics you use and how you weave it. Now, there's another, let me tell you this. If you had wanted to, you could have woven on the diagonal. So you could lay the main, this is a thread from the edge. You could have laid the first layer. You could have laid the first layer at an angle and then laid the following at this angle. So it's all what you want to do. Okay, so I love this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this out, get a sheet of this and a pencil, and I'm going to figure out how big. The stems are going to be easy. Tulips have pretty straight stems. So I'm just going to do a few stems, and when I go to cut them, they'll be nice and they'll be straighter than I'm drawing them. But, okay, now I think I can turn off this light. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'll make at least 4 stems, okay? Then I'm going to do some leaf shapes of tulips. And let me do another. Another one here. And you can decide, how you want them to be. These are your tulips. This I'm going to tuck in this way so that I can save on. So I'm thinking for right now, I'll stop with this. And I just drew these on. And now I will cut them out. And I'm actually using the wrong scissors. I was not using my paper scissors. Shame on me. If Mark had done that, oh, he'd be in trouble. Okay. My kids learned. It was so cute. They learned that they'd be in trouble if they used mom's scissors. So, and remember too, with these, I'm using Steam-A-Seam too because I can decide which way I want to put the fabric on. But otherwise, when you just use one that is only one way, do everything mirror image, people. So, okay. All right, so now I'll cut this one. I can always add more later. Okay, so I have 3 leaves. Let me cut some stems, and then I will draw the tulip tops. Tulips have 3. The easiest way to draw them is to have 3 petals that show. But you can do them any way you want. But they're so easy, I didn't even bother to go find a pattern. And when I get home from retreat, I can't wait to do Miss Lisa Capin's hummingbird mosaic. Cannot wait. I love hummingbirds, and they're coming back. I have to get my feeders out in a month, less than a month. They'll be here. You know, with hummingbirds, the males or the scouts, they come along first and make sure they've got a good area for their females. And then when the females arrive, they want to make sure there's plenty of sources of food. And you might not know this, although y'all are all so smart, you probably did, but during the baby season, when they have babies in the nest, they do eat bugs. It's not just nectar then. They need their babies to grow fast. All right, now, for the tulip petals. A tulip is 1 petal, another petal, and this petal. Okay, so 3, and you can kind of stack them like that. So, I'm going to do a smaller tulip on this part and just kind of come in and get that shape right. And please don't feel bad at all if you go find a pattern for the tulip leaves, because honestly, the best part of making tulips is the fun in the fabric. It's not who draws the prettiest one. And for some of us, it's easier to draw than others. That should never get in your way. Go for the fun. Go with your gift. And it's all good. So here's going to be another one. And, you know, tulips come in different shapes. Now, I can tell you some interesting facts about tulips. Tulips became such a rage in 17th century Denmark that people were losing their homes, their estates, their everything on gambling on tulip bulbs. And when they finally had a failure of the crop, people lost everything. It was, and you think, how in the world can they put their family's mansion estate up based on whether the tulip harvest comes in? But they did. It was crazy. And then another thing is the tulips that have stripes in different colors. That is from a fungus that infects the tulip that makes what they call a color break. And boy, so you never knew when those were going to happen. And if it did, I mean, people were giving everything for one little tulip bulb. So just when you think times now might be crazy, oh, they've seen it before. So I worked at that 17th century museum, so I learned a lot of interesting things about 17th century. While we're talking about the Dutch, how about the fact that they had children laborers in the lace factories? Because 5 and 6-year-old children had the smallest hands and could make the finest lace. Yep. And unfortunately, they worked in dark, dank places, and it affected their eyesight for their life. So anytime you think, hey, kids back then had it lucky, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Childhood as we know it is a modern phenomenon. So I'm sure you've heard stories of your grandparents walking 5 miles barefoot, Yeah, a lot of them did. All right, so now I've cut out at least enough for 2. Let's get this real fast. All right. And the thing is with the 3 petals, you can use different colors. Like you can use a different color for the middle petal, which makes them a little fun. And you could go with a more natural look of shading, or you can just like we did last week, and we made up our own kinds of flowers and color flowers, you can do the same thing this week. So, and if you want to get a free pattern of last week's, go back to last week's show, and I think if I might not have, if I didn't put it on last week's show, I talked about it during the show. Okay, so now I've got 2 colors of green because I like having a little more complexity, but you can use the same green if you want. It's entirely up to you. All right. So on this, I'm going to decide which way, what is the top and bottom. I like this. Just look at it and see. And then which way do I want this to move? I peeled the one paper off, left one on, and I'm just going to, I like this. I'm going to put it this way because there's lots of fun little looks here on that. Okay, throw that away so I don't think I've still got it. I'm going to have 2 of the light ones, 1 of the darker. This one, I think I'm going to take off the front paper, so this will go the other way. Okay, and you know what I just did? I just realized. I said I like this side, and then I put this on this side. Let me lift it back off. If I like this side, you've got to put your fusible on the other side. So here we go. Put that there. Put this one here. And they're going opposite ways because that's what side I took the paper off the steam-a-seam to. So now I just cut these. Let me see what time it is. Make sure. Yeah, I'm going to speed this up just a little. I might only get 1 tulip made today, but that's okay. I'll come back next week and show you. All right. I think this one's going to go on this side because this one's, yep. So now what I do is iron it down. Let me see if it's warm. Okay, iron that. I'm going to let that cool while I cut this one out. And you know, the nice thing about us all making, if you can make your own tulips, is they'll all look a little different. It'll have our signature on it. And that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so let me cut this out real quickly. And this is going to be another thing that I have to zigzag with invisible thread or matching thread. Matching thread might be fun. You could even do a decorative stitch from your machine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and iron this too. All right, let that sit while I peel this one. Making sure that the fusible is with the fabric, not the paper. All right. And this goes here, and I'm going to pull up on the the glue just a bit and tuck this in. So that way you have a little bit more interest. Let me move this out of the way. And it sticks to your fingers. So you try to tuck it in and you move your fingers and it goes with you. All right, here we go. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put my stems on. Let me see. I'll put one here. Oops, I should have put that on my fabric, but I'll cut the fabric and add it to that. Yeah, I can do that. All right, so now let me peel this. I'm trying to rush, and I always make mistakes when I rush. All right, this one's going to go this way. So what I'm going to do is cut this fabric off at an angle. And now tuck it under. Lift up on the, there you go. That's cool. And I'll put more in because the green is going to be really pretty, especially once I decide exactly where. I'm going to go ahead and iron that stem down since I'm just going to put the green on it. But let's go look at your photos, and then we'll come back and put our tulip and see the beautiful fabric that I got versus, because I'm excited. I'm going to actually design my own pattern. Hello, everybody. Oh, man, we've got a good amount of people in here. Thank you so much, people. All right, let's see your amazing photographs. Let's see what you have. Let me turn off this light so we can see them good. Welcome, everyone. So nice to see you. Melissa Lamb, hi, hon. Oh, it is so good to see all of you. Okay, we're going to go to some photos. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. All right, Alexis, I want to show these two again because they're so sweet. I love her embroidery, and everybody's embroidering now. Isn't it wonderful? But I love how that she does the transformers and really uses embellishment like beads. And I can't wait to see this one. That is so cool. I love how she's very meticulous and careful with her work. Beautiful. Way to go, Alexis. Okay, let's see. Miss B, this will be, oh, I love this card that she made for her friend. And what I love about Miss B is she said, oh, I cut the 80 from a card that I had was given to me a couple years ago. I was like, that means you're over 80. You are amazing. But she would like us, or someone asked, if we could learn how to do ribbon flower making. So yes, I need to get myself some pretty satin ribbon, and I want to get satin ribbon that's two-sided. But yes, at some point we're going to do that. Miss Betty Middleton, oh boy, I can't wait. Look at her. And now she did a better job too with her stream than I did with mine. She's got more angles, and that's what you need. And then look at her deer, and she did a beautiful job on her cardinal. Oh, I love it. Way to go, Miss Betty. And it looks like she used something sparkly for her snow. How wonderful is that? Her fabrics are really awesome. And look at this swan. Is that beautiful? It reminds me of the cow I did last year. And I took a class where I actually got brave enough and learned how to use colored fabric that wasn't natural, but did a splendid job of creating the personality of that animal. And you know what? You don't even realize you're looking at a blue swan. It is gorgeous. So thank you, Miss Betty. Beautiful. Okay, let's see who's next. Carol. Oh, Carol's, I'm just going to go through them all because they're so wonderful. Don't forget, Miss Carol has her on Saturdays and Sundays, has a show called Magical Touch Studio on YouTube. Please check it out. It's wonderful. She will teach you her wonderful, talented skills. And I just love, this is her Alex Anderson hand embroidery. Beautiful. Now, what she teaches is the art of journal scroll making and how you can take your life, your thoughts, things that mean something to you, things you see outside your window, and make a diary, a journal of your life. And how wonderful to have those to remember your time by, and for your children and grandchildren to have. Miss Charlene, this is Charlene Lawson. Wonderful job. I love. This is her Alex Anderson. Then this is the quilt show. Alex Anderson again. The quilt show is doing a block of the month. She's doing that too. We've got some busy ladies. Here is her welcome spring, St. Patty's Day, wonderful work, door hanging. Love it. Love, love, love it. All right, Miss Charlene Piper. We have two Charlenes, and they're both so talented. Look at this hand-crocheted Christmas ornament. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the star one. Now, I've done a little bit of hand-crocheted ornaments before, or lace, but I tell you, I have no clue how to do some of this. This is beautiful. Very talented. And I love her sailing, lighthouse, art quilt, landscape quilt. That is wonderful. Good fabric choice for the sky. Oh, look at this wolf. And she used Angelina fabric in this to make the moon shimmer. Look at this one. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And look, I love the birds in the sky. I love, love, love that. And look at this beautiful church in a snowy glade. Isn't that beautiful? And a stained glass look quilt. Very nice. Here's her cardinal in the window. That attic window, that's a neat one. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? And you can count the number of fabrics on less than two hands, and yet how effective is that? Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. Oh, that's right. We did have another one. Is this fun or what? That is right out of the 60s psychedelic. I love it. I love it. These things make me smile. And you know what? Isn't that just worth everything right now? Look at that heart. So cute. Look at this. And it really is smart that she put the white diamonds in there. Really sets off all the rows of fabric. Okay. Oh, here's a cabin one. I hadn't shown this one yet. Isn't this great? It is so easy to do landscape quilting, people. just have to have good, wonderful ideas. Love the table runner. Look at this. That is a gorgeous sky. Gorgeous. And it looks like she cut the seagulls out of other fabric and appliqued them on. Perfection. Ah, look at this. Isn't that wonderful? And her grandbaby. That is so sweet. Thank you, Miss Charlene Piper. My daughter is named Charlotte, and I keep getting confused between Charlotte and Charlene. Okay, I don't think I have that much, but let me see. Here is the image that I used as inspiration for the butterfly I made for last week's flower quilt. I just left that up on the screen and did my embroidery. So then, here are some tulips. Now I love this kind of, and see how that they have this leaf wrapped around the stem, which is how they grow. That's beautiful. So you can find any inspiration you want. Okay. Then I was looking for inspirations out there for butterflies. So, okay, let's see. I'm trying to look around to see. I have been looking up all kinds of Art Deco, Art Nouveau inspirations to make the quilt with the new fabric I bought. I won't be making it right away, and then my daughter went to the Atlanta Salsa and Bachata Festival. Jeannie helped me with that word, Bachata, I believe. But anyway, but she had such fun, and I love seeing that. Love, love, love. Now, then my granddaughter went, and this is my granddaughter, Charlie, and she went and got her dress for her prom. So we're so excited for the world is starting to open back up, and that is wonderful. And the last photo is my daughter's most recent ram babies. And this one down here has what they call mutton chops. He's got a real fuzzy face, so cute. So this lamb, who's a purebred, had purebred rams. And then she had another lamb who's a crossbreed, and she had two ewe babies. So lots of lambs at my daughter's farm. Okay, let's go back and see what else is going on. Here we go with Debbie. Oh, I love her work. Look at this. I love the way that she did the strips of fabric with the sun and how the rays came out to get into the clouds. I love when I see you put yourself into these things, and when just see how you saw this project, your mind's view. Beautiful. Okay. And then a beautiful 2-color quilt. I've yet to ever do one, but it's on my list. I love this medallion quilt she made and the way she surrounded that cute jackalope. I think we've got a Texas girl there. And then her folded edged quilt is beautiful. And I do believe, yep, here's a close-up of it. Isn't that gorgeous? Kind of like a cathedral window quilt. And then look at her beautiful painted mandala. Mandala means circle of life, but isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. Thank you, Miss Debbie. And you too can send me your pictures. We love having our own show and tell. Just send them to OurTimeToQuilt at twc.com. Look at this. Is this gorgeous or what? I guess that's Rapunzel. Isn't this so cute? Miss Dolores is now walking around with the aid of a crutch. She broke her knee, and oh my goodness, she has been so brave and pushed through such a long time. Look at this wonderful quilt. Isn't that terrific? beautiful. Then look, she took a class and made this eagle in the class. Isn't that amazing? That bird is so regal. And I'm in awe of her work. Just beautiful. And she's finishing out some of his body and feathers with floral prints, all kinds of prints. I love it. And then this is exciting. I can't wait to see this develop. She's going to have a dragon here. And her dragon is going to be wired so that he can have a three-dimensional look. So, join me in asking her to please send us more progress pics, because this is going to be phenomenal. Isn't that wonderful? I love this photo of a little girl blowing bubbles, and this is all confetti piecing behind tulle. Isn't that wonderful? That was her eagle in process. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? And her famous, I think it's famous anyway, her chameleon. I love it. So way to go, Miss Dolores. Keep getting better, because we love seeing your work. Miss Edwinice has continued her way on her rose quilt. And I want to get to something because it's so, look at this. I love this sunflower quilt. Isn't that great? Look at that. Wonderful job. And I love the fabric choices and the quilting. So that was lovely. Miss Jeannie. And here is her just about finished. Hold on. I know the name for this. Her Scrabble quilt with family names. Isn't that precious? And then look, I love this. This reminds me of broderie purse, where you cut out the fabric and then you enhance it with thread painting. That's just beautiful. Okay, now we'll go to Miss Jody, who sent me some new pictures yesterday. I'm so excited. And we know that she also is working on the Quilt Show quilt. Love it. Then she made this beautiful, beautiful. She used Miss Nadine's stamping and artwork and used it for a scene on her scroll. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. Miss Nadine was very happy too. Then here we go back to, here's more progress being made on her this quilt, the Quilt Show block of the month for this year. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful work. Okay, and then, oh, look at this. It looks like a Christmas quilt that she's working on. How cute is that? Oh, thank you, Miss Jody, for sending those. And don't forget, we would love to have any work that you would like to show. Let's see. I think I'll go to, I haven't done all of the removing of the former photos, but look at this wonderful bag. She can put a zipper in better than just about anybody I ever saw. Isn't that wonderful? A nice little bag she made for her daughter. And I love the mug, because I said so, Mom. Isn't that the truth? Okay. Now, let's see. Kim Hicks, what did she send? Okay, this will be the last time we see. This is the Mary Mayhem mystery quilt that she did with some friends. And hopefully when I get back from this retreat, mine will finally be finished. But, oh, isn't this wonderful? Love, love, love her photos. All right, thank you to you and your friends for showing us that quilt. Then we'll go to Miss Mary, who did a wonderful heart, her own design too. I mean, the same basic shape, but look at what the fabrics, how fabrics changed the look of things. It's wonderful. Then she's doing a snowy landscape, but as a tree skirt. with some wonderful hand stitching. I mean, y'all come up with so many wonderful ideas and variations. And then the last few of her wonderful Christmas block of the week quilt that we did last year. All right. Excellent, Miss Mary. Okay, Miss Marcia wanted to share with all of us worried about goings on over in Eastern Europe. Miss Marcia wanted to share this to remind us it's a beautiful world and to help us feel a sense of calm. Thank you, Miss Marcia. And then somehow I have missed, she's working on a Scottish plaid, and somehow I have missed that again. So okay, we've got some good photos from Miss Melanie. Here is the latest quilt her husband is working on. Is that gorgeous? And she's got her fingers crossed he's going to give it to her. We'll see. Then look at her cute dog. Oh, I love those eyes. Then here is some embroidery that she does that will turn out to be the center of a quilt block. Look at this cute, cute grandson in Fort Worth, Texas stockyards. Then this is his quilt. He saw Grandpa make this and wanted to know what Grandpa was going to do with it. And Grandpa said, well, he thought he'd give it away. And grandson asked, Grandpa, could I have it? And now it's his. And there they are working on threading a machine. He loves sewing machines, just like my grandson. Anything mechanical. Look at that sweet child. And look at where she put her embroidery on this beautiful set of placemat. Then look at this. I love the quilting that's in this. So complex. Beautiful. And one more shot of that fabulous quilt that he's making. All right. I love it that the engineer in him said, I want to try this. And then Miss Mitty, oh, this makes me so happy. Talk about a quilt that just makes you smile. Is that the cutest whale? Oh, I love it. That's a happy, happy pillow. Oops. Let me go back this. Whoops. Where am I? Hold on. Silly me. Hold on. I'll get back to it. All right. Now, where is it? Okay. So we just finished Miss Mitty. Miss Nadine. Oh, I've got some exciting photos to show you. She put her spring decorations out in her home to shake off those winter doldrums. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This one is perfect. It's got all tulips and an Easter bunny and all of that. Look at these wonderful houses and fruit trees. Perfect for spring. And then peace through unity, because our hearts are with the Ukraine. All right, now I want to show you. Look, this is our Miss Nadine on her wonderful 5-year-old horse, Fred, or as she calls him, Big Red. He is a big boy. Isn't that beautiful? She this weekend's at a dressage training camp, and I think that's fabulous. She is so talented, has so many wonderful talents. Now look at this. Look at this trot. Isn't that beautiful? He is a gorgeous horse. I hope he's got a great future ahead of him. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? He is gorgeous. I love the way he holds his ears. And the last wonderful picture of our Miss Nadine. And I hope she's having a wonderful time this weekend. So that's a beautiful animal. And her riding is beautiful too. Way to go, Miss Nadine. I love that. I hope she will see some more pictures. And let me see. I'm not sure what Miss Patricia, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't a picture that came through. And let's hope that Miss Patricia in Nova Scotia is having less snow by now, but I'm not sure. That's pretty far up there, but isn't that beautiful? That's a picture of peace that she sent in too. Thank you, Miss Patricia. Everybody, all of y'all are just, we're all wrapping our hearts and thoughts together around everything that's going on. So that's wonderful. I love this. Miss Polly took this class, and boy, I mean, between hand embroidery, between embellishment, I just love it. I love it. So I know that she loved taking that class, and we'd love to show more to you hopefully soon. And I accidentally got out of that again, but I think that was our last photo. So as you can see, we have a lot of very talented ladies in this group, and I love what they bring. And I'm always inspired. Well, I think I will show you the rest of this quilt next week, because I will be here next week. So we've got a good start on the basket and some of the tulip petals, and we'll finish it together next week. That'll give you a time to get your basket made if you feel like participating in this one. Never, ever worry, because I know you stay so busy. I like to show you ideas, things you can tuck away for when you have the time, if you'd like to, or just little skills that you can use in your own way and add other things to it. So now I need to get ready and pack the car up, because I'm going to be leaving early tomorrow, and I need to get everything packed and try to get to sleep before I did last night, which was 3 a.m. So any questions you might have, any comments that you might have, and I really do hope that Miss Carol feels better very soon. And, like chat, Bacata. So, Bacata? Thank you, Miss Jeannie. I looked back and saw that. That's great. Okay. My daughter loves salsa dancing, just loves it. And such good exercise. Oh my gosh. So, all right. Nothing new yet. And no worries, but as you get things done or things you want to show us, please send your photos to OurTimeToQuilt at twc.com, and we'll share them next Sunday. All right, thank you. Luckily, I only have an hour to drive, so that's a good one. You like the cha-cha? Oh, I bet you're wonderful at that. That's terrific. All right. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. Thank you to all of you. That's right. This week, happy St. Patty's Day. And I love how all of us become Irish on St. Patty's Day. And as our flag in the back reminds us that please keep your thoughts and prayers on the Ukraine. And let's hope that war stops very soon. But our hearts are with them. And all right, everyone, thank you. Thank you to Miss Marcia, who did a wonderful job stepping up as moderator. And thank you. And we will not have an art quilt Thursday, but I will be back by next Sunday. We'll have a Sunday show, and I'll show you everything we did. I'm going to take some movies while I'm there to show you, so we'll have a fun time. Take good care. Oh, Mary got a corned beef brisket. Are you going to cook cabbage or not? That's the question. All right, everyone, have a great week. Take good care of yourself, because there's only one of you, and you can't take care of other people unless you take care of yourself first. You are the best. Thank you so much for all your support. Have a great week. Bye-bye, everybody. So good to see all of you. Bye-bye.